Atlanta, baby, ain't nobody above it. When Atlanta smiles, I love it.
So there are several things that are happening in the city this week. We really want to start off a little bit political and take a look at Georgia Congressman Doug Collins, who was just extremely disrespectful to Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who we all know passed away due to pancreatic cancer. On Friday, September 18th, when we learned that she passed away, just hours later, he hopped on Twitter, just like his ignorant president hops on Twitter all the time. And he
I love how you said his. I'm going to point that out real quick. His ignorant president.
It's so natural that is not my president. Mm-hmm. But he actually, and I want to make sure I read this correctly, he tweeted out something extremely disrespectful hours after her passing, stating, RIP to more than 30 million innocent babies that have been murdered during the decades that Ruth Bader Ginsburg defended pro-abortion laws. With @real Donald Trump nominating a replacement that values human life, generations of unborn children have a chance to live. And it really disappoints me that 84,000 people like this. Like,
I ain't even peeped that.
84,000 people like this tweet. So it's a huge thing because he has not apologized for the statement. In fact, he actually doubled down on the statement in a video clip that we're going to show you shortly, where he stands by everything that he says and more.
My tweet was simply, sometimes in life there's polite and then there's just the truth. And this was just the truth.
Just hours.
I'm sorry. Y'all see that big Trump bus in the back with thumbs up?
Georgia Congressman Doug Collins sent shockwaves across the political world with just a few strokes of his keypad. After his tweet, we caught up with the congressman in Hall County.
Some have even claimed you were celebrating her death. What would you say to them?
Well, there was nowhere in there where I was celebrating a death. I was making a statement of life. She passed away, but her legacy is also one that we have fought my whole life against, and we hope that the president will reverse that.
It just really frustrates me because his response sounded so well prepared. Like, you knew people were going to ask you about this because what you said was so off the wall, to the point that you had a prepared statement for when people asked you this. So I really don't want to give too much time to him.
Before we move on, though, I will say I did a little bit of research about him. I just was interested to see how he's voted throughout the years. And most recently, when it came to the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act of 2020, he voted no. And I wanted to read some of the few things that were a part of this bill. One, authorizes an individual to file a complaint against law enforcement agency when using improper use of body cams and deadly force. And they actually define deadly force. Something else that was also interesting to me was that this bill would require the Attorney General to provide training for law enforcement when dealing with pregnant individuals, children and youth under the age of 21, elderly persons, and those with mental issues. And he voted no against this. So I just think it's interesting that someone
Support life.
Exactly. You want to talk about all these lives that are lost, but you cannot protect the lives that are here. I'm not here for it. We moving on.
I'm glad you added that. And along with adding, unfortunately, Angela Stanton King, also Republican, who has been nominated to fill John Lewis's seat or running for John Lewis's seat, came back and tweeted some other ignorance as well. Just think of all the people that will now live that Ruth Ginsburg has died and can't vote for them to be aborted.
My God.
My thing is, everyone has the right to their opinion. You don't have to be pro-life, pro-choice. However, it should be an unwritten rule. I think it already is that when someone passes, you give their family time to grieve. You don't talk about the dead because they're not here to back themselves up or defend themselves. So to not only have Doug Collins, but then to come back with Angela King is just extreme disrespect to Ruth Bader Ginsburg for all that she did.
Right. And she really did a lot. You know, she was in the Supreme Court for, was it 27 years?
Yep.
27 years, and she made great strides for women's rights. There's a tweet that we want to read out. Things RBG has done for women. This blew my mind. The right to sign a mortgage without a man. The right to have a bank account without a male co-signer, the right to have a job without being discriminated based on gender, and the right for women to be pregnant and work at the same time. The way that this country treats women and devalues women speaks a lot to why we are in the place that we are. And so with that, we want to say big, big respect to RBG. Thank you for everything that you have done for us, and rest in peace and power. So what's next on our city trends?
So we're going to